Hey guys, I just wanted to show a tool that my friends and I created called the GFL2 Growth Data Optimizer. Basically, it's a tool to help you figure out what your optimal kind of growth data um, configurations are based on your growth data. So I know a lot of people will tell you to just auto equip and that can be fine if you don't really know what you're doing. But I personally found that I was missing a lot of damage on some of my dolls, like Klukai. I think I gained roughly 30% more damage just by optimizing my growth data. So in order to show how this tool works, first you need to import all your growth data from the game. So there's kind of a couple ways to do this. Obviously, if you're super careful, and you got lots of time on your hands, you can manually add relics one by one. So you can like see bulwark, pinpoint, defense level 3, electric resistance level 2, and level 1 CQC elite. Um, yeah, so you can definitely add things manually. Um, but what I would recommend doing is using a tool, a companion tool I created called the Growth Data Scanner. Um, if you've ever played games like Honkai Star Rail or Genshin, I'm sure you're familiar with the inventory camera, where it kind of takes over your game and it basically runs a macro to click through all of your relics and then scans them for you. So this tool is very much the same. Um, so what you want to do is you want to go to GitHub and you want to go to the releases and you can download this zip file and then go to your downloads. You can unzip this. Um, and then you'll be able to run the app. Most of the time, it'll give you a Windows protected your PC, and then you'll just have to click run anyways. If you're not comfortable with doing that, you have an option which is if you're more tech savvy, you can clone the repo and then you can install Python and you can run it locally by just running this GUI.py file. If you're not as comfortable with running the app that we've created, but when you open the app, it'll open up this GUI and you'll have two choices. If you're worried about macros, you can run it in manual mode and you set a manual hotkey. And what you have to do is essentially there's a start delay and then a scan delay as well as a timeout. And right now we only support scanning in 1080p, 1440p, or 4K. So I would recommend using one of those settings. Another common issue that I've seen some people encounter is sometimes you'll need to run this app as administrator if it's not properly scanning for you. So what we can do is you can capture these, and then I'll just capture a couple as a example, and we'll stop. And if we it'll create this inventory JSON in the folder that you opened up. You can see that will have all this data. So you can see it has equipped and the skills and all of that, which is super cool. But what I would recommend doing is I would use the auto mode, and if you want the most accurate results, you probably want a scan delay of like at least zero point 0.5 to 0.75 seconds. But it isn't always if you want to go faster, you can obviously default to a lower speed, but it won't necessarily be 100% accurate. The more the scan delay you use, the more accurate it is. So we can also just scan it this way, and you'll see that it takes over my mouse and it'll just start clicking on things one by one for me. And then you can cancel any time by pressing F8, which is the stop key. But yeah, that's how you extract your relics from the game, and this can take like up to 15 minutes. So kind of as a quicker solution, I already have some of my data that I can upload. Here we go. And then when you upload your data, you have an option to replace or merge with current. This is if you want to if you want to update when you get new growth data, it makes it easier for you to decide what you want to do. And the cool thing about this is since we detect which dolls are equipped, by default, all dolls with existing builds will be favorited and they'll also be equipped. But if you want to just start over, you can unclick these. But for me, I will keep everything equipped and favorited. And you'll see that if we go to Clue Kai in game, you can see that the everything matches: area specialization, attack boost, corrosion boost, headhunter, all of that. So yeah, it's super cool. And now what you can do is here. So say I want to optimize for Clue Kai, right? So since I have Imago form level 60, I'll just click the highest target, and this will automatically set filters for the skill level of each kind of type of growth data. And then manually, let's see, I want my build to have at least level 3 attack boost, level 3 throne breaker, and say level 3 area specialization. In case you forget what these skills do, you can also just click them and it'll remind you. It'll tell you basically what they do, and then you can see how much it increases for each level as well. And then depending on how strong your computer is, you can decide how many total builds you want to run. So by default, we have a max of 5 million, but you can go up to 500 million if you want to like remove all your filters. It'll take a while, but yeah, you can have a lot of a whole bunch of possible builds. But here, run the optimizer. Since we have so many filters on, it's only finding 15,000, and we can see it's already using a lot of relics I have equipped. But if you want to include relics that are already equipped by other characters, you can click this as well and then run the optimizer. And we can see that it's using some relics I have equipped on Leva and Macchiato, Lind, all of that. So another feature that we have is damage simulation. This isn't super accurate in the sense that like the numbers that you see here won't be reflected in game, since we're missing a lot of buffs from dolls as well as like the exact skill numbers, etc., all of that. But what this is useful for is kind of getting a rough idea of how builds compare to each other. So usually you see that we have this average damage, which is a combination of crit damage and non-crit damage. If you're curious, you can see the formula we use by clicking this little info button. But you can see that my current in-game build is only doing 1,292. If you want to get something that's like closer to what damage you'll actually be seeing, you can actually enter your stats in from the game. Oh, 4173. For this case, realistically, defense and HP don't matter unless you have what is it called? Ichor conversion, which converts which gives you an attack bonus based on your HP. But you can add your crit rate and crit damage from the game. So I'll just 70, 142. And then you can get a closer idea of the damage numbers, and you can see that like difference isn't too big. But if I wanted to, I can equip these, and then I can correspondingly search for those relics in the game. Unfortunately, the game's built-in relic filtering system isn't too good. What I'd recommend you doing is just like, for example, if you want to find this relic, you probably just have to filter by pinpoint defense tier 4, and then it has a tier 2 auxiliary skill, so you know he has bulwark level 2, and you can probably find it. Yeah, you can find this one. But yeah, until Micah gives us a better filter, unfortunately, all this will do is show you what you have is good. You'll still have to like, it'll still take you a little bit of effort to find it in game. But But yeah, some other features that we have is like I mentioned earlier when importing, you can favorite dolls. So if you want to prioritize some dolls, you can find them and then you can press the star. I'll have to find Clue Kai. You can just search it up right here. Clue Kai. Oh, sorry. I favorite it. And another cool thing that you can do is that you can press and hold, or you can just press the edit data button, but you can press and hold and then you can drag your characters around. So let's see. I will drag, what happened to, oh, here. And then I just want to drag Clue Kai to be number one. Uh, but yeah, so you can kind of arrange by however you prioritize if you're curious about that. You can also export your data. It'll back up in a form of a JSON file, so you can download that, and then similarly you can import. We also have a database where you can see all the relics you have, and if you don't want to have to rescan, since that takes a long time, you can add them in manually, like I said. It'll make sure you don't try and add an illegal relic. Like if you try to add a tier 4 relic with only 3 levels of skills, it'll stop you right there. And then finally, a cool feature that we have is I forgot to mention this app runs entirely locally on your computer. We don't share anything with the cloud, but if you want to be able to use this between different devices, you can log in with your Google Drive. So I'll log in with my personal email here and continue, and then I can back up to Google Drive, and then what I can do is I can open a private tab and open this up, go to the website. You can see I have no data currently, and then if I sync, oh, oh, I will have to, let's see. There we go. Confirm that. And then I will restore from Google Drive, and you can see I have all my data. But yeah, I was mainly motivated since Voy Mestina is coming out, gonna be a very strong doll, and I wanna fully optimize everything. So I'll be seeing exactly how best I can get my growth data, and I just wanted to share this tool that me and my friends created with you guys.